Today's lesson continues talking about the prophet Elijah. Elijah served as a prophet of Israel during a very dark and challenging time in Israel's history. King Ahab was one of Israel's most evil kings, and his wife Jezebel was even worse. Together, they led the nation of Israel into idolatry. That is, they were worshiping idols or objects such as statues instead of the one true and living God. As the land of Israel turned away from God to worship the idol Baal, a drought and famine crippled the land of Israel. In an act of obedience, Elijah challenged King Ahab to gather the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel for a showdown in front of all the people of Israel. Ahab gathered the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets who ate at Jezebel's table. Elijah wasn't only challenging the king and queen, but he was also challenging the beliefs of those that had gathered to watch. 1 Kings 18:21 says that Elijah went before the people and said, "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him." The people said nothing. But the truth about God is that he requires exclusive loyalty and worship. If you read on in 1 Kings chapter 18, you'll find that the prophets of Baal tried to call on their God to bring fire to a bull that had been placed on an altar, but absolutely nothing happened. They called and shouted all day and night. They danced around the altar and even drew their own blood with swords, but absolutely nothing happened. Once their circus was over, Elijah prepared his altar with the bull. He even put large amounts of water on the altar, which soaked the bull and even filled the trenches that were surrounding it. At the time of the sacrifice, Elijah prayed, "Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and have done all these things that you have commanded. Answer me, Lord, so that these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again." Then the fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the soil, and even dried up all the water that had filled the trenches. When the people saw this, they fell on their faces in humility and submission to God and cried, "The Lord, he is God." This miracle led the children of Israel back to God. I'll leave you with this. It is important to know the truth, but it is equally important, if not more, to act on the truth. The children of Israel knew who God was, but had been led astray in their hearts. Because of God's love and grace, he brought them back to him. So today, I encourage you to stay with God. Do not let anything or anyone lead you astray. Continue living a life that is pleasing to him. His grace is sufficient, but Romans chapter 6, verses 1 through 2 says, "What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?" God bless you.